You're such an asshole.
I'm not saying I'm surprised, but it does raise an eyebrow uh where I do hear a story about I try to work in finance, bro. I couldn't do it, bro. And it's not even that these guys are bros. That's the thing. They're not bros. And if you are not a bro, you can't work in finance. These are nerds. These are squares. These are the ones who should have, if you want to work in finance, you're a quant, you're a modeler, a data scientist. There's a field for those of you who are truly into finance, economics, and statistics. That's the field you want to go into. But every once in a while, I get these guys super smart, and I'm like, dude, I couldn't hack it. And this is one where, oh yeah, you were working for a criminal. And yeah, we'll keep on trying. I promote. Where is it? I got worthless. Young person is indispensable guide to choosing the right major. You never major in finance. Never major in accounting. Get your CPA. Hey, if you got it, we've talked about it. If you've got it, some people can have a good career in finance and banking. And there is like a small but critical subsegment within finance and banking and investing that actually is required in critical allocating capital, helping people invest wisely. But we're talking less than 10% of the actual people employed by the finance industry. Generally, in finance and banking, it's for losers who want to make engineering salaries without putting in the hard work of engineering. And they're always the wheeling and dealing. And trust you me, I saw it when I worked in banking. I mean, our clients were in pretty bad financial shape. You know who was in just the baddest shape? The bankers. The bankers trying to make the loans. A little unknown fact, another main reason it often is cited in going through the ashes of the housing crisis, the financial crisis of 2008. One of the main contributing factors is that these bankers were up to their hilt in debt too, and the way that they got money is through commission on closing deals. And if you applied any sensible level of underwriting standards or credit standards, lending standards, the volume would have been a lot less. So these bankers, oh god, they were just as bad as the guys they were lending to. And so it's not a shock. Sit down, everybody. It's not a shock that you really, really, really rich people, if the stock price or whatever, the commodity price went the wrong way, they'd be like the Wolf of Wall Street guy. They'd be like Bernie Madoff, not Bernie Sanders. These are not this. There's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There is no organized, structured discipline or study or skill to learn in finance. It is sales, it is lying, it is deceit, it is volume, it is fiduciary responsibility. Shouldn't even be mentioned in the entire industry because very few people adhere to that. Oh, I'm sure there's some. Oh, I do. Okay, good for you. You got your Series 66. But if you are a hardworking, moral individual, I think there's only two industries worse where there's less ethics and morals. One would be government work, and the other would be teaching, public schools and academia. But banking is like the first and most corrupt private sector industry, if you can even call it private with all the bailouts. Because once again, you bankers suck, man. You guys are dumber than crap. I mean, you're no different than the kids we bailed out with the student loans. I mean, that's the level, and that's who you're dealing with. I link below. You don't believe me? You don't believe old Captain Gold? Down below. It's my first book I ever wrote. I wrote it even before the housing crisis was crashing, because I could predict it. That's how good I was. And that's not even high finance. This is your rank and file, local bank down the road. So we'll get to the guy's request, but guys and gals, I can understand if you have an intellectual interest in finance and economics. It's a fascinating study. It's absolutely vital for any functioning economy. It's vital for your personal finances. This is a great skill to learn on your own, not paying some washed up professor $300 of credit. Like, go study it on your own. right? Apply it in your own personal lives. Absolutely. But you do not pursue it as a profession. You don't have to go to, certainly don't go to school for it either. If you want to go to school for something, go to school for accounting, data science, computer programming. Because then you're kind of on like the good side and go work. I don't know why you want to work in Wall Street or live in New York or any downtown. Got to go where the financial district means traffic. Financial district means washed up MBA boomer who also didn't save up any money for it, who still thinks the corner office is the pinnacle thing. They're still playing by, old people who think like the Nobel Prize means anything or the Oscars mean anything. These are the holdovers who still think like a corner office and working in a downtown building means anything. It's over for any of you younger people. Please, it's not worth it. I think it's kind of people are waking up, especially when you bankers got your asses spanked and needed the taxpayers to bail you out. I think the gleam and the sheen is gone, and only like these echo chambers of blue blood Ivy League East Coast schools. So I'm gonna go into Wall Street, bro. Oh, is your daddy a rich man? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Your daddy's a rich man. Oh, who went to Sidwell and Friends? You did. So for those of you who have ethics, morals, intelligence, integrity, or just self-respect, you don't go work in finance. You don't work in banks. We're not even talking what have you walked into a Bank of America? Walk into any physical branch of a Bank of America. It is a bleep show. Now, as I pick on Bank of America, but it could be Huntington Bank, it could be Wells Fargo. Walk in there and you'll get that same skeezy, slimy feeling that you're in a Verizon cell phone store, where the kid who probably has a criminal record is trying to upsell you on a cell phone plan, right? That's what you're entering. And, you just don't roll with pigs in mud. That's based. Don't lie with dog. Don't get no fleas. Don't be the eagle surrounded by the turkeys. Everything's put online. Everything's being streamlined, automated. You want to talk about where AI has truly obsoleted an industry? It's the finance industry. There's just no reason to do that. So let's go through this young man's question. Hi, Aaron. I've been watching some of your videos and read your books. Thank you for the amazing work you do. I'll include some sensitive information in the following lines. Some of it part of an ongoing criminal case. Oh, yeah. Which is surprise. I'll use brackets to identify it. Also, please keep me anonymous. Excused by poor English. I'm a younger man from a place not the United States. All right. When I was younger, with an accounting equivalent degree, things are a little bit mixed up here. His country, I guess they don't offer just a straight accounting degree. I was the top of my class and did a thesis on economics, mixing two schools of thought to explain economic cycles. I don't want to identify you too much. I received many praises from faculty saying it was PhD level. I thought all of this mattered and I would get a great job and career on finance or economics. It obviously did not happen. I had severe troubles dealing with HR, and that was the rare occasion I even got an interview. All right, so let me also advise younger people, and for your own individual sake, the real world is not school. I cannot emphasize that enough. And school, going all the way to kindergarten or whatever age you start in your foreign country, to college is an artificial environment. It is not the real world. Your professors and teachers celebrated you did great PhD level work on a bachelor's degree, I believe, which is good. That's fine. But they're professors. They're like the last people you want to take advice from in terms of whether or not you're learning skills and abilities that are going to be useful and prove successful in your future in the real world, because they've never set foot in the real world. Your professors, unless they've actually got industry experience, have been in school since they were 5 years old. And you could totally see how school, whether that's elementary school or PhD level college, is an artificial environment, because once you leave, pretty much whatever they celebrated and conditioned you to think was good doesn't serve you well. Now, hard work, good grades, those correlate, that's fine. But have you ever noticed like the kids who are really good at school, and by which I mean good at the environment of school, not necessarily grades, though that may have been part of it too, but the yes men and the yes women, not necessarily teacher's pet, but the perfect kids who got 4.0s and they lettered in whatever sports and they're prom king or prom queen. They were popular would be a better way to put it. That is doing really good in that artificial environment. And yeah, if you don't have a job and you have rich parents, they buy you a fancy car and it's all about clothes. And then you didn't even have to get a 4.0, but you got good grades. And you said the things that you were supposed to say that was cool. All right. That's kind of more K through 12. But when you get into college, it's kind of the same thing. No one's really, they're paying their way, but it's through student loans. No one's really working. And I guess the popularity thing is replaced with fraternities and sororities, although I don't know if that is even applicable today in the United States, let alone your country. But the point I'm bringing up here is that's not the real world. You got dorms, you got a cafeteria, you have government programs feeding you. You're still children. You're not adults. And so, you had a degree that isn't completely worthless. It's pretty worthless, but it is completely worthless. Could you imagine if you were a literature major or a journalism major? This happens to all of you. Then you go into the real world and you find out that all of it, 17 years of school, most of your youth, pissed away and gone. And that's because you weren't trained for the real world. Schools and universities and professors are there to take your money so that they don't have to get jobs in the real world. That's it. And they pat you on the head. You're so smart. You're so smart. You have a degree in social justice. You have a degree in criminal justice. You're so smart. I'm really smart. I know how to lead the world. And you go out and you get your ass kicked. Which is why I wrote this book, so that for young people, when you go to college, at least, okay, look, you got to waste your youth and all that money anyway. But at least when you come out of college, you can have an employable degree, right? So don't feel bad about that. You were lied to, right? The academics probably, they weren't even necessarily malicious. It probably was really, the thesis sounds great. Sounds very interesting. But unless you were connected, unless you were in the upper echelons of your particular country's society, you're not going to find a job. And sure enough, you ran to Karen in HR, which is hilarious. Like, you have all this financial and mathematical ability and knowledge, maybe even some programming skills. And here's Tina, the 25-year-old HR ditz. What's your favorite animal and why? Oh, I don't like him. You're like, do you have any questions germane to the topic of the job? And that's the rare occasion you got the interview, right? I mean, personally, I would just repurpose into a CPA your country's version of a CPA. But yeah, that's normal. But the whole point, the reason I went into that is so you don't feel bad about yourself, right? You did at the time. Rarely will I admit this or allow for it, but you did what looked to be the best thing at the time with the information you had. I'm a man that derives a lot of satisfaction from achieving things and having knowledge. I was happy during my university years because my fellow students respected me. I enjoyed doing basic things such as helping them with questions or exercise. That's not the real world. I mean, it's fine. You were really good at school. That's great. You were really good at school. Teachers were not that bad. On the other hand, I like social skills. I have slight social anxiety. I'm slightly socially awkward. Yeah, they'd sniff that out in finance, because the skill in finance is not your mathematical ability, your ability to assess risk or assess threats or identify opportunities, like in a legit SWOT analysis, not the BS. It's all slime. It's all sales. It's just stealing other people's money. That's all it is. Since graduation, I've been declining and have not done any progress. Think about it this way. Let me give you a different way to look at this. You were never progressing in the real world. You were in school. There was no progression. You haven't declined. You never progressed any. You didn't climb a hill. You were in school, an artificial environment. It's exactly identical to this. I spent my entire youth from 5 to 22 playing basketball. And then I got on into the real world and I've declined. I've regressed playing football. You've never played football. You played basketball. Now it is a different game. You're in the real world. So there's been no decline. Now, in your mind, because school is, again, an artificial environment, there's a veneer or a very false artificial environment of perpetual progress. And what I mean by that is if you pass each grade, even if you got C's, okay, there is progress. That's the natural thing of natural way of things in school. If you worked harder, what the hell is this? What? I don't need that information in Microsoft. You got 4.0, you got straight A's or whatever. You put in, oh, I got straight A's. I did good. But you think that's progress, and it is in that controlled environment. But that's structured. It's perfect laboratory conditions. And the teachers are compelled to give you good grades as long as it's empirical. If you got the answers right, you get the grade. That's it. That's really the only thing. Maybe it's a behavior but if you did good in your work, in your homework, in your tests, you had success, you had progress. Whether putting in the work does not determine your success in the real world. It depends on whose dick you suck. It depends on who you know, especially in finance. It depends on your connections. It depends on your luck. And so what ends up happening for all people your age is you're used to this very controlled, very meritocratic environment. You put the work in, you study, and you come out like, I'm failing. No, you're just in the real world now. And you're and at least with school, I'll grant you this, it's a relatively fair playing field. And in some of the high demand fields, like say being a doctor or an accountant or something higher level, it's pretty fair. Finance, completely lopsided playing field, completely unfair. And again, unless you have the connections, you're going to just fail and lack in progress once you enter the real world. But it's a different game and a different playing field than what you're used to in school. So don't feel bad. Since graduation, I've been declining and have not done any progress. I got my first job at a financial firm. Okay. You should write a book. Where does it end? You said don't read in the brackets. I'm trying to see where you didn't read the bracket. Oh, there's the brackets. All right. You work for a guy who is committing crime, financial crime, and is now under investigation. Right? That's common. That's fine. Now, sometimes they get caught. Sometimes the bet goes down. This sounds like an outright Bernie Madoff type of thing. I won't go into the details. But for those of you who are working in finance, you can expect that. During the dot-com days, I worked for this guy. I don't know where he went. I think he pissed off the Chinese investors, meaning the CCP. This guy was just a fraud, and he wasn't alone. A lot of people back in the dot-com days would go raise money for a dot-com. They pay themselves $500 million a year salary for technology that really didn't exist. Or ostensibly, like, oh yeah, we're working on it. Oh, we got R&D. And then they're in their investment prospectus say this is high risk. You're probably going to lose your money. There was never an intention to bring a website to market or a software or a program to market. It was just to go raise a bunch of money, pay themselves a high salary, and a lot more so than even the salary, I would claim, is to make believe the ego thing that they were a CEO and ran their own company. That's finance. I'm a baller, bro, which is why every baller I ever met, every successful businessman I ever met was insolvent, always begging my bank for more money. That is finance. That's your finance industry. I'm going to say it again. A bunch of dumb, lazy dudes who want engineer salaries without engineer work. And they'll do anything, including stealing people's money or more of a gray area, selling them projects or investments they don't need so that they can make believe they're. There was a study that just came out where there was a study that quoted another study, and that original study showed that men who spent, 3 times as much, don't quote me on the number, they spent multiple times as much as other guys, and the men who had bad finances or were insolvent got laid more. Because it was all flashing cash. You girls are like, where do I find a guy? Why can't I find a guy? Are you going after a guy that pisses away his money? Yeah, but I want a rich man. He ain't rich. Now, do you want him to spend money on you? Do you want the consumption? Fine, but then don't marry the guy. He's bad with money. But we're not here to try to convince women of reality. No one has the ability. God himself couldn't. He designed them. He couldn't even get there. Here's reality. No! Okay, never mind. Okay. Yeah, go out with Chaz. Oh, yeah, that BMW's totally paid for in cash. Right. He's totally not living off his dad who lived in the suburbs. Absolutely not. Yeah, don't go out with this nerdy engineer here who built up equity in his home and drives a sensible Honda. Hell no. That's Snoresville, right? But yeah, I mean, hey, go look at the credit scores of your average. Weren't they even saying your average financial advisor is like got a horrible credit score, horrible finances as well? After this job, I was extremely burnt out, and I started an e-commerce business. Did okay-ish with the revenue, around 80,000. Then slowly died until now, where I just get by thanks to my very low living expenses. Well, this is good. The fact you never had any financial success, like me, taught me frugality, taught me minimalism. The minimalism course, by the way, will be opening up later on this month. On the 25th, I'll do a video later. I was able to rebuild my personal finances, also thanks to crypto. However, I need to move on. My options are the following. Accounting. The field is saturated and low pay. This is not the U.S. There's no CPA here or anything of the sort of the profession. Is generally not valued unless you go into big corporations. Here's a question for you. So what? You're not in the USA. What if you got a U.S. CPA? I don't think you have to be a U.S. citizen to get a U.S. CPA. Look into it, right? But we are desperate for accountants because our young people are lazy, talentless, useless slobs. They don't work. They don't. I mean, not some do, of course, obviously, but if you look at labor force participation rates, they don't want to work. That's it. And we're desperate. So if you find in your home country, the CPA or the CPA equivalent is not that employable. Here in the United States, man, I'd take the CPA exam if you can. For reference, an accountant at local firm, what in the USA would be a CPA firm, makes around $20,000. Also, I don't like the end game of it all, which would be to set up my own firm. Accounting is mind-numbingly boring. Yes, the high-paying stuff usually is. I know because I've done it. And also my company where I did my own accounting. Okay. Another lie your teachers and parents and the whole world told you. If you want to make money, you have to do boring and or tough and or dangerous jobs, and a lot of it. If you want, it'd be overkill. I don't know. Search my channel for like all jobs suck. Search my channel for that. You don't need to read a whole book on it. Also, I find the money underwhelming if I were to set up my own firm. Over these years, I made a friend who runs a firm with 4 employees. This person is really, really smart, knows the stuff, and knows the stuff through and through, and is known as one of the best offices in town. His company makes a certain amount, and he himself clears only $80K before tax, $55 after tax. He pays an employees. He's constantly stressed and won't even recommend the profession to me. Right. Okay, and fine. And you know what? Hang on. Let's just look it up now. Do you have to be a U.S. citizen to take the CPA exam. So every state except Alabama, Louisiana, Hawaii, North Carolina requires you to be or become a U.S. citizen before you can take the exam. All right, this would be a great Chad Elkins question, which I'll be on his show later on tonight in about 4.5 hours, 5 p.m. Tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour. So the CPA exam is, at least in the United States, is based on each state, and they have their own rules. But what's great is reciprocity. So if you get your CPA in, say, Louisiana, which it seems like you can then start conducting business globally. And here's the other thing. Let's just say you get your CPA. Oh, well, you got your CPA in Louisiana. They don't care. They need accountants here in the United States because, once again, we have raised a generation, 3 generations now, mine included, of completely useless people. So I would hang on. If you are a non-U.S. citizen, you may qualify as a licensed U.S. certified public accountant if you meet the Board of Accounting eligibility requirements of one of the 55 U.S. jurisdictions. Must be able to take the exam in English. Your English is very good. It's an option. I don't want. Yes, in your country, it doesn't pay. In this country, but because of the nature of accounting, it does pay, but you don't have to physically be here. You could be sitting on one of the many nice beaches that you have in your country. Oh, where is he? I don't know. Find out. 2, finance. I could try to get back. It's unlikely I'll succeed, but I could send some emails and a few contacts. I don't hate the job per se when it's about building financial models, but I do hate the environment, the hours, and the BS that surrounds it, that you need soft skills. I don't get the end game in this field either, which would be to try to set up some sort of mergers and acquisitions boutique or something very, very unlikely. Leave finance. Just leave finance. There is nothing there. Nothing. Even if you were to get your dream job and work, let's say Wall Street or high finance in your country, holy crap, do you want to live in that town? Whatever town that may be. Do you want to deal with those people? Do you want to work 80 hours a week looking at spreadsheets of programming models? I can't imagine the pay is all that good. No, man, forget it. Go get your CPA. I'd recommend you go work for the trains. Also, we could use some workers who want to work on the trains. 80 grand a year starting. They'll train you. Other random things. 3. Other random things I don't want to do, such as academia, no, or supply officer in the military. Yeah, you might want to do it. The later would be nice to do for a while. But this is not the U.S. My country uses a BS system for government jobs, which you need to pass extremely hard law exams, which, due to how bad the job market is in the country, how lazy the people are, half the population is studying this crap, and becomes a lottery. You could try it. Go ahead. People literally study full-time 5 years after university to attempt to pass these exams, and over 85% of them still fail. That sounds like a losing proposition. Like, let's say you got in. How much political BS are you going to have to tolerate? Finally, I don't care about the skills you get there, and unless I want to commit the next 30 years to work there, it's stupid. 4, software development. This is what I want to do. There you go. My interest here is not new. I lived most of my life thinking I would study this, but at the last moment, I went full mentally impaired and decided against it and pursued what I thought back then was a more. Your English is very good, but though, by the way, you write very well. Was a more open and potentially profitable degree. Dude Bro investment banking that would help me understand the world, but also help with my social issues. Most of my close friends are now software engineers. Turns out I don't fit in with my peers in finance and accounting. You won't. You have an IQ above 100. You have discipline. You have ethics. You have morality. You're just not skis, man. You're not slime. You're not a bad person. Over the years, I've been learning stuff as a hobby, including Linux and the whole tech stack, web developer, React, and other technologies. I've started making some personal projects right now. I have done a few. I don't know if you want me to link to this or not. I have 2 good ideas that I want to implement next that I think could be potentially profitable. Moreover, I have 1 freelance React web project lined up for the next 2 weeks for $800 US. Well, you're getting paid already remote. Oh, you're getting paid in US dollars. So you got work overseas. So you're not dependent on your crappy second world crap hole. I like software and see good opportunities and options. I'm pretty sure I can make the jump. However, after all the investment I made in accounting, finance, and economic, my confidence to make good life decisions has greatly diminished. Okay, we all make mistakes. I made mistakes. But now you have the real world telling you something. It's very important to understand this about wages or job offers. All the jobs you had to go through to get, I had to go through to get in finance required teeth pulling, dealing with HR. If you're dealing with HR, that means you're not hooked up to the network. That's going to somebody's brother who sucked his girlfriend off or whatever. I don't know how they do it. All right. And that was the real world telling you this isn't for you. But we didn't listen to that because we were told pie in the sky poppycock. But well, and then of course everything's your fault. Oh, you just aren't interviewing right. Oh, you don't. Oh, let me tell you how to ace the interview with HR. Yeah, you. Woo! I almost said something. You tell the HR lady to do something that is the equivalent to pound sand. But you don't. The real world was telling you weren't cut out for it. Now the real world is telling you that you are cut out for this. You're already getting paid and you don't have a degree in it. My moment was when I started teaching dance classes. I thought it'd just be this fun little thing on the side. And the first dance class I ever taught, I made $350 an hour. This is like in 1998. That's a lot of money. I'm like, okay, change of plans. And then writing books, that was kind of a whim and a lark. All of a sudden I got paid. And then Asshole Consulting, again, beer money. All of a sudden I'm getting paid. And what it is you have to be open and receptive to what the real world is telling you. Like, I'll give you another example. You are Tina, standard American suburbanite girl going to college. You're going to help your children out of minorities. And you major in sociology, right? And you get some part-time work because there wasn't enough government funding to create the make work government job that you're never going to solve the children or the poverty of minorities. And you're struggling and you're getting by. You have to live back at home. But you know what? Let's just magically say you're a thin, attractive girl. And then your female friend says, hey, I'm on OnlyFans and I'm making $300 a week showing my boobies on the internet. You're even hotter than me, Tina. Why don't you go on the internet and show your boobies? Now, Tina may not, well, I'm going to help the children of minorities. I want to help the poor, change lives. I went to school. Shut up and listen to what the real world is telling you. The real world will tell you if you listen. Hear that, Peck? Times you got to ask, you shall receive. Playa. It's not too far off from Tom Cruise's character in Tropic Thunder. Sometimes you hear that, Peck? The universe is giving us a great opportunity. You like it. You're already getting paid. You've diversified your income. You're remotely employed. I don't know, what bigger sign from God do you want? But after all that, I would like a blunt assessment on my general situation, whether leaving accounting finance altogether is a good idea. Yes. I prefer video spawns. You can post it where it works for you. Yeah. This last bit where you've done it, you put together a nice little website here. You're already getting paid. You're self-teaching. You don't have to go back to school. You're bypassing studying 5 years to get into some government program. You're not going to bang your head against finance. You don't sound like the guy who wants to suck a lot of old man dick to get ahead. You got discipline and ethics. Yeah, I think your best one is software development, only because you're getting paid right now. I mean, there, boom. And you know what? You can get paid from anywhere. I got a buddy over in Vegas who's always looking for programmers. I think you're fine. I think that's the way for you to go. And that's where your buddies went. I don't know how you got it in your head that you should go and, although I guess, I was looking at nuclear engineering. Oh, I took my economics class. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm going to help people get out of poverty there. Oh, you like being in poverty because you're a lazy, filthy sack of filth. All right, America. Yeah, you enjoy your government housing. So I would do software development, and I would just keep doing that. And now I'm going to recommend a two-prong approach. All right. Do the software development. That's your main gig. Keep scaling up on that. See if you get, you got one client now. See if you can get others. Now you got your network forming. Talk to your buddies. Hey, what do you need? You got your buddies that are on software development. Like, look, I got to break into software. Is there a project or something right now I could study that you're in desperate need of that I can self-teach myself? And then like, I come to you like, here's work. We need you to do this on the side. I would do that. I think you found your calling. You've found your OnlyFans. But I would also then research becoming a CPA in the United States, also remote employed and online. But you don't like accounting, so I don't know. Sounds like you found your niche. But absolutely leave finance. Absolutely. Even if you're in economics, which technically is a different field or subfield, all you got to do is work for governments to basically rationalize, well, we could just print off more money. Print off more money. Welfare good. Welfare is investing in our people. I'm just going to assume your country's as crappy as ours, and the people are just dumb. So unless, you can't be a real economist and make money, essentially, unless you work for, the Ludwig von Mises Institute or one of the few think tanks that isn't expressly Marxist and pushing an agenda over economics. But yeah, that's what I would do. Sounds like software development. But yeah, no, I would even say go work security, go work as a Uber driver, go work physical labor. Don't do finance. Your employment is not stable. It's always a nightmare because inevitably, here's what it is. Your bosses want to imagine and believe that they're big swinging dicks. But it doesn't corroborate with what's happening in the real world, whether it's the stock price, the profitability of the firm, and they push all that contradiction on you, and they get pissed off when the numbers don't add up, and it's your fault. You're essentially their mental whipping boy. I mean, that's what I had to deal with, where I get these loan applications. I'm like, what? No, we can't approve this. Well, you're just not a team player. I'm like, no, we can't approve this. Like, this guy has a credit score in like the 300s. I didn't know that was possible. It's possible, by the way. Well, you don't understand. He's had some tough time, blah, blah, blah. And all that was banker speak for, I need to approve this loan to get the commission. Otherwise, my wife is going to divorce me. So, because we're living paycheck to paycheck. That's what it was. So their contradictory, hypocritical living is now foisted on you. And they get to sit in the window corner office and all that other crap. But no, life is too short to work in the finance industry. And unless you're, connected or the big swinging dicks kid or something like that, it is absolutely not worth working in the bowels of the finance industry. You let the dude bros work with that. And there is no future. There really isn't. There just isn't. Software development, yes. Yes, there is. All right, link below is Behind the Housing Crash. I also think I linked to Bachelor Pad Economics, so you guys make wise financial decisions, including what to major in. Someone says there is no sound. There is no sound. Everyone's talking like I have sound. Yep. I do have sound. Here, bowl of stew, no sound. I have sound. My mic is not muted. You just don't have your earphones up, dude. What else was I gonna say? I'm on with Elkins later on. The Elkins accounting. Oh, subscribe to my channel. Slowly encroaching on 100,000. Oh my God, who let the raccoon in the house? What was it? Apachiete? What's raccoon in Spanish, Atham? What was it? All right, let's go to super chats. Raz, $5. What is your opinion on working in commercial real estate? I'm currently a Big Four and debating if I should get my CPA assistant and want to pursue real estate investing full time. All right. No. How's that? Dude, bro, dude, I'm commercial real estate. Yeah, F that residential stuff. My dick's even shiny. No. Look, you want to invest in commercial, go ahead. But yeah, you're in the Big Four. Yes, get your CPA. Here's all of real estate investing. I borrow at a very low interest rate, and I invest in real estate. And then we print off more money and real estate goes up over the long term. And I'm a freaking genius. People have become very rich that way, but you don't have to like make it a profession. Why would you have to go work for some other commercial real estate firm where you don't get any of the equity exposure? You should, get your CPA. I think the Big Four will pay for it. Get a couple of years experience working in the CPA, the Big Four. No more than 2. All right. And then you'll know what a Schedule E looks like. And then but take a couple classes on how to value real estate. Pursue real estate investing full time? No. Be a CPA, make your money. And then if you want to buy property, by all means, go ahead. I'd recommend you just buy land. Buy land where it's like on the outskirts of town. And then white people got to live somewhere. Am I right? And they're going to move out. Right. And then, look, we're going to build housing here. I don't know. What do white people like? Which is great. Come on. What? Trader Joe's. Then a Trader Joe's goes in and all the white women are like, where would Trader? There you go. You want a great investment philosophy for real estate? Where would Trader Joe's go? That's all you got to do. Find, all right, where's in 10 to 15 or 20 years, where would a Trader Joe's go? And that's where you buy your property if you want to do it that way. But now you got to deal with property taxes and managing the property. So why don't you just invest in some real estate investment trusts? All right. You can buy, you don't have to borrow money. You don't have to raise a ton of money. You just invest in real estate investment trust. There you go. There's your real estate investment. And it's more than commercial, bro. You got a little bit of residential. You got a little bit of commercial. You got some agricultural, some rental, maybe even some mining. You're diversified. What did you see? A fancy middle-aged man with a little bit of gray hair walking in a fancy suit? I'm a commercial real estate developer, bro. Pursue investing full-time. Oh, no. Wholesome DJ Aftershock for $5. Cappy just mad he couldn't make it in big in finance, bro. Dude, I just leased a Mercedes after my girlfriend after lending to a real estate developer, man. Party of grandmas, bro. I may not have made it in big finance, but I didn't ask for a bailout. Just remember, guys, no matter what they say or how successful they are, it's like you needed a bailout. You're a loser. All those big investment banks, all losers. The sheen is gone. I don't know how many other people you need going to jail, getting investigated by the feds. You need to realize just what, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're like, I'm in finance, bro, I'm a commercial real estate investor, bro, bad person. Don't date him, girls. But he has shiny car. Date him, girl. Just go. Yeah, you know what? Give him your best years of your life. Go. Just go do that. Just go do that. I'm not even gonna bother. Eric Burns Marsh, $5. Celery is a square. Dude, bros, getting your condors and butterflies going. Oh, those are option trading strategies. Celery is a square. Oh, by the way, I'll be on with Vlad Elkins, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. Please subscribe to his channel. CPA all the way. Just avoid Illinois if you can. Drew, $2. Finance dude bros have ruined this country. To a large extent, they have. They're up there. I would say, I mean, the cabal of people that have ruined this country, your teachers, feminists, professors, politicians, and bankers. Without a doubt. Absolutely without a doubt. Yeah, here, and just for the client, John Gomez, he says, I'm a CPA and work remotely and will never go back to working in an office. That is an automatic deal breaker for me. It's just maybe your CPA to the client, maybe your CPA or an accounting profession is a backup plan. And you know what? You've already done accounting. It wouldn't hurt. Look, we need accountants. If you want to start right now, if you got certified in QuickBooks, there's a QuickBooks certification. They help you find clients. So if you know what an income statement looks like and you know basic, ledger accounting, you could start offering services on the side now, and you could have 2 sources of income right now. You wouldn't have to become a security guard. Runner 55 for $5. Finance industry is greedy for cybersecurity. Learn 2 industries, frontline work, and move to consulting. 24,000. Geez, John, that actually might be some money. 24,000 times 0.007. Geez, John, $168. That's like, hang on, what is it time to do? Oh, I got to advertise my minimalism course. John, you didn't have to do that, man. That's like 2 shoelaces for 1 pair of your shoes. That's like that's like 3 rolls of your toilet paper that you buy. Let me unfortunately deliver the truth about modern life, John. I give him guff and he gives me guff. He gives me guff for being this cheap old frugal man who likes Perkins. I like Perkins, and deep down inside, John does too. But John does make the money. It's not BS. He does pay cash. He does it. He does the thing. Which we're all like, look at this goofball. It's like you're a dad and you got a son who's a complete moron, but he does it so well and he's so successful. You're like, I can't believe this moron. John, you didn't have to give me $168, man. You know what? Donate it to Thor and Missy. All right. Just give it to Thor, which, by the way, is tax deductible. I know you look at always for tax deductions to lower your tax bill because you make a lot of money. We contact Thor and Missy. I think you got to cut a check to a specific thing, and then you get a deduction on your taxes. All right. So, but thank you anyway. And then for everyone else, look up Modern Life Dating. I keep getting guys who ask me, oh, how do I date? How do I ask God? I'm like, that's not really my forte. I have some basic 101 advice. If you want something more tailored and special, John, modernlifedating.com. Just look up Modern Life Dating. You can find him. And he offers plenty of courses. So, what are you, bored? You gotta be pretty bored tuning into this. Modern Life Dating 250 again. My credit score is 600. How is your credit score 600? Look, John, you got a pile of money over here, and then you have some credit card bills and debts over there. You take some, not all of it, because I know you got way more than we. Just pay off your debts, man. Pay off your credit score. That's poor time management on your part. You got Louis Vuitton shoes, and you're like letting your credit card. You got to pay it down. You're like a girl. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Not my responsibility. Chris Martinez, $5. You ever hike the Olympic Mountains? And one of the first mountains I ever did, Mount Constance, I believe, and I didn't get up to the top. I had to return this was 1998. I was 23 years old. Had a car rental. I had to get it back in time to catch a flight. I wasn't able to make it to the top. Mount Constance and Olympics. Yes. If not, I recommend Lake of the Angels hike. Lake of the Angles hike. Angles. Yeah, that's not angels. That's angles. I was long time ago. This was back in the day you could meet a girl. I was there for like no more than a week. Met a girl at a bar. Asked her out. We went out by Queen Anne. Gave her a kiss goodbye. She really liked me. I never saw her again. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Oh, young Cappy, all happy and in love. May not love. Athletic, $2. Okay, a raccoon is Mapache Pawa. Raccoon Mexican poops. So they're smaller now. Although you did leave. Yeah, you're Mexican poops. I'm thinking it's you that left that monster turd in my toilet bowl. I don't think it was the great one. Drew, $2. Stock is on sale right now. What is the I gotta because my procrastination has finally paid. This week I'm gonna be investing my 401k money or IRA money. Is that it? That's it. There we go. All right. Oh, Harvey, I'll be getting to your question later. No, just Mapache. All right, Mapache. El Mapache. All right. I'll see you guys later. More on the way, and then tune into the Elkins Hour, which is coming up later on this evening. See you guys later. Toodles.